All right, everyone. So we're going to start breaking down our watch list for Monday morning. I am recording this right now from the back of my Sprinter conversion van. This is a basically like a Mercedes Sprinter plumber van, but it's so much more than that. Now, if I parked in front of your house, maybe you'd think I'm undercover. I've got the Starlink on the roof. I've got the 5G signal booster up there. And inside here, I've got my 24-inch monitors mounted on this rack. I've got my laptop. I've got my microphone. And I am ready to trade anywhere the road takes me. And right now, I have crossed the border. I am in Canada, and I'll be trading up here for this entire week. So I'm looking forward to it. I did the same trip last year, and this is a really nice opportunity to get out of my office kind of right here at the end of the summer and enjoy the fresh air and see if that gets me really inspired for trading that is going to be coming in the fall months, because typically it's September, October, November, December that are my best months of the year. So I'm really excited because we're coming into the hot season. Okay, so right now, and by the way, I'm parked under a tree. So typically this is not good for Starlink, but I think for the sake of the watch list, it'll be good enough. Okay, so what we're looking at right now is my scans, and I'm going to start by taking a peek at some of the top performing stocks from last week. Usually when I'm kind of looking at the week ahead, I'm asking myself, well, what was the last thing I traded on Friday and how well did that do? And that was PRTG. So PRTG on Friday was really strong. This is a stock that ended up going from $3 a share all the way up to $8.50. I mean, we've seen bigger moves percentage-wise, but overall, this was decent. I mean, I couldn't complain about it, and I ended up having a solid day on Friday, up $10,000, which gave me profits on the week of, gosh, it was 30 on Monday and then 10, so that's 30, 40, 50, but almost $65,000. Unbelievable. This month and last month too, it is blowing me away because this is so unusual for this time of year. So you can see right here, let's see, we'll do, so I'll just sort this. We'll see where we're at. So year to date, enter. Now we're going to look at month and year. So right now, tied, actually exceeding February, which makes August my second best month of the year. Last month, July, 232,000 in gross profit. I'm at 136, but that doesn't include Friday's 10,000. So $146,000 in August. Wow. I'm kind of blown away by this momentum that we've been seeing. So we had the MPOX catalyst that gave me the big boost on Monday. We had VRAX, we had GovX, we had APDN. So if we check in on those stocks first, just to kind of see where they're at, I think what you'll notice is that they're not super impressive right now. VRAX actually did a offering, which makes sense. They took the opportunity to raise some money. So they raised some money. So that's VRAX. I think that GovX, and if we look at the daily on VRAX, you could see we got this nice pop up, but then that was the offering. Boom, it drops back down. So VRAX daily, it's not terrible, but with that offering, the float's going to be higher. Then we've got GovX. GovX, this one, it's just not holding up well. So I don't have any real conviction in taking a trade on that one. And then APDN, this one gave us a huge move on Friday, right? From 2 all the way up to 350, but then it kind of pulls back to 250 towards the end of the day. So MPOX Catalyst, I feel like those are out of play for right now. I mean, it's possible that they come back in, but for right now, it feels like that's kind of behind us. PRTG, that was good. But do we have anything from Friday that's going to be continuation into Monday? Because one of the things, if you watched, I did an episode on Friday called something about how I trade continuation, the multi-day continuation. So let's see, it was this episode right here, continuation. So trading the multi-day continuation setup. So that's a 58-minute full-length episode on the continuation setup, because in fact, I didn't expect it, because most of my trades last week that were really solid were not continuation. They were day one breaking news. Breaking news comes out, ALZN on Monday, boom, goes up like 700%. So that was really, and is typically where I do the best. But a continuation is not to be overlooked because we can get some great continuation setups. And in fact, when we were looking at my metrics here, we went into detailed and then we sorted by instrument, and then we scrolled down here. And what we notice is that if you look at my performance by the instrument's relative volume, you can see that basically all my profits this year is when a stock has 5 times higher relative volume than its 50-day average. And that's just the metric it uses here. But this is very interesting. When you look at my performance by the instrument's prior day relative volume, in fact, I've done really well right in here when we're currently trading at a quarter of the previous day's relative volume. Why would I do well when we're trading less volume than the previous day? Especially since all of these trades still fall within this category here. This is all $650,000. So here it's all on 5 times, but here it's on less than that. And it's because these right here are when the 50-day average, we're still 5 times above it. But yesterday was day 1 of the big move, and today, day 2, but the volume's lighter. So day 2, day 3, day 4 can work really well. So definitely check out that episode. And I also uploaded this one just earlier today. It's Saturday night right now that I'm recording this. Things I wish I knew before I started trading. So check that one out if you haven't already. And Sesame Street, that's a big win. And Grateful Dead, these are just top subscriptions. So anyways, SQNS, yeah, so that one's out of play. So I honestly am not seeing anything that I think is going to be a good continuation setup going into Monday. To be honest, that's not uncommon. We don't usually have a really, really hot setup on Friday that then is like Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday keeps going. But just to check, I often will start by looking at my after hours top gainer scan. So this is the after hours top gainer scan right here. And our after hour top gainers on Friday were PWM, 93% gain after hours. That's not bad. And Mira, I've traded that one before. That one's kind of a pain. So these are the two. So we could watch these two going into Monday. Mira's closed strong on Friday, and MPWM also closed pretty strong on Friday. So I would say both of those are worth keeping on watch. So we've got our after hour top gainers. I could check the next scan here. We're going to look at continuation. I always check it just in case there's something on here, but APDN, no, I already know that one's a no. Kind of peaked on Friday. SOND, it could, but it's a little lower when we look at the 5-minute chart. You know, we can kind of see that this has already kind of peaked, but it could give us a little bit more. GDC, that Chinese stock, made a big move on Friday, which was nice, but then it came back down. RR, no, it's a little too cheap, floats a little higher. FFIE, that one peaked on Friday, no. BYU, I see, I don't love this daily setup. This is now too extended. If we look at ALNZ, which was my big winner, what was it, ALZN? ALZN, my big winner from Monday. This one, a stock that basically was at all-time lows down here, and then comes out with news, and this thing rips from $2 to $16 a share, just about. Now, it has pulled back, but that intraday volatility right there on that day, I love that. I love the stocks that are really beaten up and curling off the low, but after they get up a little too high, they can be kind of tricky. MRM was on the scanner. I don't know about that one. Looks like it popped and pulled back. So I don't see anything on the continuation scan. We can also check top of trend scan. GHSI, top of trend going into the close. 1.2 million share float. Not bad, but has that same kind of daily setup where it's a little too extended, I think. I also feel like this one's a Chinese company. I might be wrong. Let's just double check. No, I'm wrong. It's not Chinese. Just mistaking it for that. So anyways, but that's the only one on the top of trend scan. We can also look at top change since open. This will show us the top percentage movers on Friday from the open, not from the previous close, but from the open. And here you've got a GHSI again, PRTG, but we already saw that. RETO, QTI, PPH. No, see, I don't see anything here. So this is what I'm kind of thinking. And we do have a couple new scans here that have been released for Warrior Pro members, so you guys will have access to those if you haven't already checked them out. We're always adding scans and working on this, so there's always new stuff coming out. So here's what I'm kind of thinking for Monday morning. I think our best bet is going to be, I'll pull up my scans around 6:30, 6:45. I'll be streaming by 7 a.m. for Warrior Pro members. And what I'm going to be looking for is a stock that either is already strong pre-market because it has news, and it's possible that, it could be one of the stocks that were on our top after hours gainers here. It could be PWM or Mira, maybe. The only thing about Mira is that the float on this, let's just check the float one time. No, the float's okay. I just find Mira a little choppy. But anyways, those two are worth watching. But it's also totally possible that there's a stock that has news that comes out on Sunday, and by Monday morning it's already gapping higher and squeezing pre-market. Global events, economic events, MPOX, all of this stuff can also create catalysts for Monday morning. So I think the best game plan right now is that Monday morning, I'm going to sit down, or even when I'm still in bed, I'm going to pull up my phone, I'm going to check my scans, and I'm going to look to see which stock is squeezing higher. And I'm going to try to get honed in on the top 2 or 3 gainers on Monday morning. And what I'm going to be doing is looking for the first pullback. So if I sit down at 7 and we have a stock that's really extended and has already made a big move, then my challenge is I have to try to figure out whether or not I can jump on that move to ride the next wave of momentum. That can be a little tricky, and that was a problem on Monday morning, but just a week ago we already had stocks that were really strong pre-market, and so by 7 a.m. a lot of them were really extended, so it felt like, shoot, I don't know if I really want to chase these. But I still waited for a pullback, and when I got one, I was able to get a couple nice trades and build my cushion on what was at that time the top leading gainer, which I think was APDN. And then once I had my cushion, I sort of used that to take a little more risk on a couple other stocks that were squeezing up. And next thing you know, I'm up $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and I mean, Monday just ended up being phenomenal. So I think that that's probably our best bet for Monday. Thursday was a little slow, and Friday was a little slow in total. Now, we did have some good opportunities as Friday went on, but initially it was slow to start. So I was kind of like, I don't know if we're going to get a lot of opportunities, but then all of a sudden we got a couple stocks that are squeezing. So Monday, it's possible that it'll be a little slow to start, just same as Friday. But once we get something that's squeezing as obvious, we should get some action. What it feels like right now is that maybe just because of the overall strength in the market, I mean, the S&P 500, just to kind of keep things in perspective, is basically just under all-time highs. I mean, the market, it drops for a second, and the next thing you know, we're back to all-time highs, just under all-time highs. So the overall market, it just has such, right now, a tailwind that I think that we're just seeing a lot more volatility in the market, just period. Traders are more aggressive. They're looking for opportunities, and I'm going to be the same way. I'm going to be looking for whatever's squeezing. So right now we're in a market where people are hungry. They're looking to trade. They're wanting to be aggressive. And when you've got something that's squeezing, it seems like things move pretty quick. So I'm going to keep trying to capitalize on this momentum. And, the reality is right now, and even for the month of July, making $200,000, that's more than I might make in 4 months of the market being slow. In a slow market, $30,000, $40,000 a month. In a hot market, $100,000, $200,000. It's crazy how it feels like sometimes the faucet is just turned on and then the faucet is turned off. And I think part of it, if I'm going to be honest, is market makers and the way their algorithms kind of adjust to hot and cold markets. I feel like when the markets are cold, they're so much more aggressive at shutting down anything that starts to move, and it just kills the momentum. And when the market's hot, I don't know if they're afraid of getting caught short, but these just seem to open up, and next thing you know, it's like, whoa, this is 400%, 500%, 700%. And traders who are taking the risk and buying high and selling higher are doing pretty well. So I'm going to continue doing that. That's my plan for Monday. It's definitely possible that I'm going to catch a red day in here somewhere because things have been, definitely a little touch and go with some of the days being slower. But as long as I can start each day with smaller share size and not get aggressive till I build my cushion, then when I catch a red day, it'll hopefully be small. My biggest risk is that I start with trade one with like 18,000 shares, lose 50 cents, and I'm down 9 grand. Because if I do that, then I'm going to dig myself such a big hole on that day. And if that's the day that the market is just totally dead and now the market makers have like shut off the faucet, as much as I might try to make back that loss, it won't happen. And if I try too hard, I'll be down 15, 20 grand. So I really want to avoid that. We were actually looking recently at my metrics of average drawdown, and it looked like my average drawdown was about $18,000, which is pretty good. I think. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad to me. These drawdowns this year, let's see, this one was 30 grand, 28,000. This one was 10, this was 10, this was 10. That one was 16.6. So I guess you add them up and average it and it comes to 18. Maybe that seems a little high, but I think it wasn't just for this year. It was for the last several years. So, but yeah, you could kind of see like cold market, hot market, a little colder, but not bad. Hot, 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 hot. And I don't know how much longer it's going to go, but I'm going to ride the momentum and be as aggressive as I can, because what I've learned from years past, we look at some of the years past, we just look at all my metrics. When the market heated up during 2020 into 2021 and 2022, I put the pedal to the metal and I just started taking huge size and I did really well. I went from 445,000 the year before to 5 million. Pell stayed to the metal for 2 solid years, and then it slowed down a lot in 2022. 2023 was like really slow, and now this year is picking back up, and we still have 5 months left. So 5+ months left. So September, October, November, December, a week, 4.5 months, whatever, 4 months and a week. Nonetheless, if we keep seeing months like what I've been having here, then I think that I have a chance at crossing $1 million in 2024, which would be really nice. And like I said, all of a sudden, and this is what happened in 2021 and 2020, all of a sudden the market started to heat up, and it was like, well, this was GameStop right here, 866,000, 419,000, 420,000. It's like when it starts to heat up, it was just crazy. This month was $796,000. This month was 42 grand. It was slow. And then the next month was 700 grand. That's crazy. 842, 750. Like that was how the market was. It was just like, it would be crazy hot, and then it was like dead. And you had to be really good at taking your foot off the gas when it slowed down and then going back on when you had the next stock or the next theme or the next cycle that was going crazy. So yeah, that was my record breaker, best month of all time right there. But you know what? Yeah, so I guess my best August was probably right there too. 2021, my August was 208,000. 2022, August was 186. So, where I'm sitting right now at 146 is good. There's no question about it. It's not going to break any records. That's not really what this year is about at this point, to be honest. I'm not going to break any records this year, I don't think. But that's okay. I can show up every single day, and I could just keep adding a little bit of profit to my Roth IRA and hopefully lead by example for you guys by being disciplined and focusing on consistency. That is what I'm really emphasizing right now, is trying to be as consistent as possible. I'm not counting my consecutive green days. I'm just trying to be disciplined. But by being super ultra disciplined in following the process that, of course, I teach you guys in the classes, profits are the byproduct. I feel like I'm being more disciplined right now than I've been in a long time. And I have to really keep strengthening that muscle, because one of the things that's hard is when you've been holding something for a long time, your muscles start to shake and then you have a setback. And so I just, look, a red day is going to happen, and that's fine. It's not about not having a red day, but it's about making sure that when that red day happens, I lose with grace and I have a disciplined response where I say, you know what, this market's cold. I'm just going to lock it up here down, whatever it is, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, doesn't matter. I'm going to lock it up in the red, and I'm not going to push my luck and get desperate and just start to snowball, because that is when things get really ugly. And I know you guys know that because you've seen me do it before, and you probably know from your own experience as well. If you haven't checked out, and by the way, I'll put a link for a 2-week trial at Warrior Trading. It's 2-week pro preview. That will be a link pinned at the top of the comments and linked in the description. So you guys can check that out for those of you that haven't already. But let's see. I was going to show you this episode that if you haven't checked out, you might want to. This was $275,000 loss. That was the biggest red day I ever had. And that was a day where I lost discipline. That was not a loss. That was not a failure of my strategy. That was a failure of me right here. And that's why we say that you can have a trader who knows how to trade, who has the skill, who knows how to read level 2, knows how the 5 pillars of stock selection, who knows technical analysis, and still loses money because up here they're not right. The headspace, the mental attitude, the approach is not right. You get emotional, you get frustrated, and then you screw up. So when we look at my biggest losers, and of course I recap every day, whether it's red or green, some of these are just really brutal. And this is the story of someone who lost $100 million. That one was pretty crazy. But it's just, it's important to recognize that these are all the result of emotion. It's all emotion that caused those big red days. So, and there were some people that asked for some live trading archives. There's a live trading archive right here on YouTube. Some people are like, Ross, why don't you ever live trade? If you're a really good trader, you would trade live. And just so you guys know, I do trade live every day, Monday through Friday. It's just, I only do it for Warrior Pro members. I don't live stream my trading on YouTube anymore the way I used to. So this is a day, by the way, where I end up having just a absolutely crazy solid green day, $185,000 trading GameStop. It was absolutely crazy. So that was some live trading. I mean, it was an exceptional day, but you might find it interesting. So yeah, but I do live stream every single day. I just don't do it on YouTube anymore. I think the thing that was, I did that for a long time on YouTube during the pandemic. When we all went into that lockdown in 2020, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just turn on the live stream button. We're all in lockdown together. And then I kept doing it for a long time. But I think what I realized was that I had a lot of people who kind of, I think unfortunately thought, well, I don't want to pay for education and I'm just going to tune into Ross's broadcast and, that'll be enough for me. And I understand that line of thinking, but unfortunately, I don't want to enable people to just try to blindly follow me because they know that I'm good and I'll just follow Ross, because I just don't think that that's a good way to trade. I stream because I want to demonstrate the strategies that I trade, and I want to be that first base coach where I can walk you through what I'm seeing in real time and give you my commentary. And so at this point, I only give that commentary to people that are students in my program. Now, lots of free content goes out on YouTube. I've got the recaps. I've got a lot of educational content, so you can learn a lot for free. And I want to encourage you to keep learning. But if you want to watch me trading, then I want to make sure at a minimum that you're getting the education to learn my strategy, and that you've heard me reiterate a million times to always practice in a simulator, to don't not blindly follow me or anyone else for that matter, and to treat this as an interactive classroom, because that's the intention. So anyways, yes, you're welcome to check out my live broadcast. And if you're do the 2-week pro preview, it's 2 weeks for $20. You'd have access to that. So you're welcome to check it out, but I just don't want you guys trying to blindly follow me or anyone else. And that's why I just decided it's just streaming on YouTube is, I really want to focus on YouTube being educational and not just streaming, because I just don't think that that's, it's just because it doesn't force people to go through the classes, and I really want people to go through the classes. So anyways, so that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'm gonna get this uploaded here, and I'll be live streaming looking over the ocean on Monday morning. So I'll see you guys then. And thanks as always for tuning in. And I'll remind you again, it's always that trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow. And I'll see you back here bright and early, live streaming for Warrior Pro and Warrior Pro Preview members Monday morning.